So hello everyone, and I hope everyone is well. This is part 3 of the extra slides I gave you on derivatives. I think it's quite informative. There's a lot of material here, so I just wanted to show you. So we kind of left off at this alternative example here. And basically you can see now these are options on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, okay? And basically here, here's a strike price, okay, of $246. Now there's different strike prices. Have you seen? I'm sorry, points. Well, it's dollars, but it's really points, right? It's really points, right? So you can see here's the different strike prices, and there's a multiplier here of 100, right? Because if you think about the Dow, right, it's up like 24,600. So there's a 100 multiplier there for each of these, all right? So here's the different strikes. Here's the actual the last closing price. All right, it was 24,706. So you can see you're out of the you're basically in the money here. Over here you're out of the money, right? Because your strike price is here, and this was the last value of the Dow. All right, so here's the premium. Again, that gets multiplied by 100, right? And this is the change in the premium from the previous day, all right? And this is basically, so this is the last premium. This is the bid and the ask, whether you're buying or selling the option, right? This is the bid and the ask, and here's the quantity of contracts traded. All right, this is the intrinsic value. And these are related to the volatility of the contract itself, all right? So this is the total number of contracts traded, as I said, for that day, right, for the day. Notice there's a large jump from the trades for basically this premium here for this strike price versus the volume of contracts that day for this strike price, right? So it varies. And this is the total number of open interest total. So how much will How much money will this purchase cost you if the option is in the money or out of the money on the Dow Jones Industrial Average? So the ask price is $365 per contract. Now there's a multiplier of 25, right? And there's basically another multiplier to get it to the actual strike price, right, of 24,600. So this is what it's going to cost you. I believe it was, what, 25 contracts here? Is that right? I believe it was. They didn't basically say here if you were buying. I believe it was 25 contracts, right? So for 25 contracts, again, here's the 100 multiplier. So this put option is out of the money. I don't even think they told you in the book whether it was a put option, right? It's very vague, this problem. Oh yeah, here you go, put contracts. All right, so the basically the different types of contracts. Stocks are the most commonly traded, but you can also trade on indexes, right? As we just saw. So you can trade on indexes. All right, so these are two important words. A lot of people use options to hedge or reduce their risk. All right, hedging means reduce risk. All right. So just want to make that point. All right. And this is going to hedge you, take the other side of your current position to avoid exposure, right? All right, too many emails coming in, so let me mute that. The other option is to speculate. If you're speculating, you're just buying these contracts to make money, and you have no intent on reducing your risk, right? So you could either hedge or speculate. That's, your choice. They're just placing a bet on the direction, and they just want to make money. So these are the two things you can basically do with these contracts. So as we had previously mentioned, you can take a long position in an option contract, right? And a long position means you're looking to make money. You bought the contract. If you're long, you purchased the contract. So I want to make that clear to everybody, right? A long position means you bought. So I can go here. I'll just say bought contract. So the value of a call option is what? The maximum of the intrinsic value, which is the difference between the stock price minus the strike price, right? This is where you make the money. And if this is not true, then it's zero, right? That's the maximum profit you can make. This is a call now. So this is the call, and this is the value of a call option. Okay. So you can basically, obviously if the stock goes up, you made money, right? So that would be the S, the stock minus the strike. And if it doesn't go up, obviously you don't get any gain. There's no value. And of course you paid your premium, so you lost money. Okay, so that's how that all plays. And this is what a graph looks like this is the payoff for a call option, okay? And here's the strike price of 20. Notice as soon as the stock price here starts passing the strike price is when it starts paying off higher and higher. Does everyone see that, how it's paying off higher and higher? So that's how that plays out. So that's what the graph looks like. And obviously the profit, this is the payoff curve, not the profit. The payoff curve would have a negative portion here, which reflects the premium you paid, right? You got to pass the premium before you make any money. All right, so the long position of a put, now the value of the put is just going to be opposite that, okay? It's just going to be opposite that. The put, the most you can make is that, because the put, you're insinuating that the price of the stock is going to go down, right? So this is the strike price, right? This is your payoff minus the stock going down. And if this ain't true, then you'll get nothing. But again, you paid a premium, right? You paid a premium, so you've got to take that into account. So here's an example, I guess for Oracle, and the strike price is $20 and it expires today. And you could plot this, they want you to plot this, which is quite simple as a function of the stock price. And again, here's the put, here's the strike price. As the stock goes down, you make money, right? And as the stock goes up, now remember it's a put, so you don't want to lose money. So you get nothing. This is the payoff. And again, the premium, the profit would have a negative portion here because you had to pay a premium for this. All right. So here's another example. Here's Dell. Here's the strike price, $12.50. And it expires today. So you got to plot the value of this option as a function of the stock price. And here it is now, right? Again, so here's the put option, right? Here's the P. So this would be the payoff for that put option. And here's $12.50, right? So all right, so an investor that sells an option has an obligation. This is the writer, right? The writer is totally obligated. If you decide to exercise your option, he has no choice but to come up with that stock. If he don't own it, he's got to buy it. And the reason he wrote it was he collected premiums, right? So his cash flows are the negative of yours. So it's a zero-sum game, so to speak, all right? So this is a zero-sum game. So this is the short position in a call option. So you can clearly see how he's obligated. Look how he's losing money. Look at his payoff going down. He's just opposite you, right? He is just opposite you. So here's an example, again, of a short position in a put option. And here's the graph. You can clearly see, again, the losses are taking place here. So you see, basically you wrote a put option here. So here's if this is the stock price, right? So again, when you write, you are obligated. So although payoffs on a long position in an option contract are never negative, the profit from purchasing an option and holding it to expiration could be negative. And again, here's the difference in the words, right? Payoff versus profit. Because you paid the premium. So that differs, that graph differs from the graph for the payout, all right? So it's an important difference, okay? One involves the premium, the other one don't. And I believe so here's the next bunch of graphs. So here's the next graphs, and they clearly reflect your premiums. You see how these are negative? This is the profit from holding a call option, not the payout, not the payoff, but see, they start out negative. So you got to make up for the premium you paid before you start making money. And here's your break even when you hit this curve right here. Here's your break even. And here's the same curve for a put option, okay? Again, here's the premiums. That's why these are negative. This is the profit curve again. So the maximum loss on a purchase call option is 100% when the option expires worthless, right? You lost your premium. Out of the money call options are more likely to expire worthless, but if the stock goes up insufficiently, you're going to have a higher return because you paid a cheaper premium, right? So call options will have a much, much extremer return than the stock itself. And vice versa for the put option. So here's the graph for a put option, right? So here's the call, and here's the put. All right, so now you can combine options, right? You can buy more than one option, obviously, different types, and combine them. And there's a real important combination called a straddle. Okay? And what is a straddle? A straddle is purchased when you know there's going to be volatility in the markets, and you don't know if the volatility is going to be up or down, just like with the market we're in now. So you decide, well, if it's going to be up or down, and I'm not sure, I think what I'll do is I'll buy a call and a put. So you see what they're doing here? They go long a call and a put option on the same stock with the same strike and the same date, right? The same strike price and the same exercise date. So this strategy again is used for volatility. So let me try to get that. Let me get that. And you're going to have upward or downward movements, but you're really not sure what kind of movements you're going to have, right? So you tend to buy one or the other. So, as it says here, what's important is it does not necessarily have a view on which direction the stock will move, okay? So this is what a graph of a straddle looks like. You notice here's the call portion, and here is the put portion. So you see you got a V-shaped curve. Now you have to pay 2 premiums, of course, right? But if the stock goes up, you make money, and if the stock goes down, you make money. But again, it's going to cost you money because of the 2 premiums. Premiums could be quite expensive, so you got to be a little careful with premiums, okay? They're not usually, the stock has really got to move to overcome the premiums. All right, I'll pick it up. I'm 17 minutes into this. I'll pick it up on the next part, okay?